Yo, what is good, everybody? Fight weekend. We got Bellator versus PFL, and then we got UFC Fight Night Mexico City. Fucking awesome night for fights, guys. I'm hyped. The Bellator PFL card is going down in Saudi Arabia this Saturday, February 24th. Card starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the main card starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be streaming the entire thing, starting with the main card. 3 p.m. I go live, and I'll be live till from then until the end of the UFC card, and maybe even a little after that. We'll see how long we go. All right, let's break this shit down, guys. We'll start with Bellator. Bellator PFL. I really like this card. This card's pretty cool. We're gonna just break down the main card. No prelims. I just don't know. I don't know enough about Bellator or PFL to know some of the up and coming guys, but I know a lot of the bigger guys. I got a big parlay for you guys, and I got all my underdog picks. I picked both cards top to bottom. Not the prelims for Bellator, or for PFL Bellator, just the main card. But let's hit it. My picks have been pretty good lately, guys. Not perfect, pretty good, but my last 2 weeks, my parlays have hit, so I'm really excited about that. We're gonna go for 3 in a row, and this week's gonna have a big parlay because of both of these cards. So, first fight of the card, Clay Collard, AJ McKee. Clay Collard, 30 years old, out of Utah. 24-11. He's plus 250 in this fight. 11 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's been submitted 3 times. He's coming off a decision loss to Olivier Aubin Mercier. Collard is taking on AJ McKee Jr. AJ McKee's a beast, guys. 28 years old, out of Cali. Minus 310. 6 knockouts, 7 submissions. He has never been finished. Only loss of his career was to Patricio Pitbull. I'm taking AJ McKee in this one. He's also going to end up on my parlay later. Next fight of the night, guys. This one could be fucking nuts. Thiago Santos, Yoel Romero. Now this is a fight of 2 older guys. Santos is 40, Yoel Romero is 46. Thiago Santos, 22-11. 15 knockouts, 1 submission. Santos has been knocked out 4 times, submitted 3 times. 1-6 in his last 7 fights, Thiago Santos. I don't love that. Yoel Romero, 13 knockouts, has been knocked out once, fighting out of American Top Team. He's 4-6 in his last 10 fights. He's coming off a decision loss to Nemkov. Very tough fight to call. I'm leaning Thiago Santos in this one, but honestly, it's anyone's fight. This one, I think, is a toss-up. Hopefully, it's a great one. I'm hoping we see some fucking fireworks. You just don't know what you're getting out of Yoel Romero anymore. Okay, next up, heavyweight fight. Bruno Capoloza, Vadim Nemkov. God, guys, hell of a fight. Capoloza's 34, out of Brazil, 15-6 record, 14 knockouts. He's been knocked out twice. He's been submitted twice. On the other side of the ring, minus 400 favorite Vadim Nemkov, 31, out of Russia, 16-2, 9 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's on an 11-fight win streak right now. Only knockout loss was to Jiri Prochazka. So, I don't hate that. I like Nemkov in that one. He's also going to be on the parlay. I'll go through the whole parlay at the end. Next up, this fight's at 182. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, Ray Cooper III, Jason Jackson. Ray Cooper is a plus 475 dog here. I think he's the biggest dog on the main card. Or no, he is the biggest card on the main dog. 31 years old, out of Hawaii, 25-9 record, 16 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He's been submitted once. He's on a 2-fight losing streak right now. Last fight, got knocked out in the first round. He is past his prime, and he's fighting a young guy here. Gabriel Alves Braga, 25 years old, 12-1 record, 5 knockouts, been knocked out once, coming off a knockout loss. So both these guys are coming off of a knockout loss. It just makes it a tough one to pick. Both guys are minus 110 in this one. So again, it's a toss-up. I like Pitbull just because of how good he is, what he's done. I don't love the 2-fight losing streak, but it is what it is. Next up, Impa Kasagany, Johnny Eblen. This is at 185. Impa Kasagany is a plus 300 dog here. 15-3 record. 30 years old, out of North Carolina. 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. Impa has been knocked out twice. He's currently on a 6-fight winning streak after leaving the UFC. He's taking on Johnny Eblen. Eblen is 32, out of Florida. 14-0. He's a minus 390 dog here, guys. 6 knockouts, 1 submission. Fights out of American Top Team. He's a huge favorite here. Minus 390. I got to go with Eblen. He's a beast. I think he gets it done. And he's also part of the parlay. And our main event for PFL versus Bellator, Renan Ferreira versus Ryan Bader. Man, great heavyweight fight, guys. Ferreira is your favorite here, minus 120. He's 12-3, 34 years old, out of Brazil. 10 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. He's been submitted once. He's on a 3-fight KO streak. Ferreira is a beast. Ryan Bader is 31-7. He's a plus 100 dog in this fight. He's 40 years old, 6 years older than Ferreira. 13 knockouts, 3 submissions. Has been knocked out 5 times. I don't like that. He's been submitted twice. He's on a 3-fight win streak right now, coming off a knockout win over Fedor, which was, I believe, like a year ago, just about. Great fight. I like Ferreira in this one, but this is going to be a close one. Bader as a plus 100 dog, that might be something to sprinkle something on. Bader could definitely win that fight. I like that Ferreira is younger. I like that he's only been knocked out once. Bader being knocked out 5 times, that's not good. I don't like that. I always bet against stuff like that. And this 3-fight knockout streak from Ferreira. Granted, it's not against the same level of guys that Bader's fighting, but Bader has a lot of his fights have been against older guys. Ferreira's younger. He's still in his prime. I'm going with Renan Ferreira out of Brazil in this one. Great PFL card. PFL versus Bellator card. I'm fucking hyped for that, guys. All right. Moving on to UFC Mexico City. Guys, these Mexico cards are always amazing. The crowds are phenomenal. And the fighters just go crazy. I mean, there's a wave of Mexican fighters coming into the UFC right now, and it is very awesome to see. Grasso, Moreno, they kind of led the way. Veterans like Cain Velasquez came before. It's great to see where we're at now. And these cards are just phenomenal. Every time they go to Mexico, the crowds are awesome, and the fighters just put it all out there. All right, let's go through the card. Starting off our night, Mahamudjan Naimov, Eric Silva. All right, this one's at featherweight. Naimov is a minus 600 favorite here. He's 29 years old, out of Tajikistan. 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, never been finished. Contender Series 2022 took a decision loss. He's on a 5-fight winning streak right now, 2 wins in the UFC. Taking on Eric Silva, 36 years old, out of Venezuela. 9-2 record, 3 knockouts, 4 submissions, has been subbed twice. Contender Series knockout win back in 2022, and got submitted his first fight in the UFC by TJ Brown. I like Muhammad Naimov in that one. Minus 600 favorite. Okay. Up next, flyweight fight. Victor Altamirano, Felipe Dos Santos. Okay. Altamirano, 33 years old. 2 knockouts, 4 submissions. Has been submitted once, never been knocked out. Contender Series 2021, got a win. 2-2 in the UFC. Coming off a decision loss to Tim Elliott. Felipe Dos Santos, 23 out of Brazil. Minus 320 favorite. That is Altamirano's opponent. 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. Felipe Dos Santos has never been finished. He lost his first UFC fight to Manel Kape. I believe it was a split decision. I picked Altamirano in this fight, but I don't love that pick. Felipe Dos Santos is a beast. He did lose his first UFC fight, but Manel Kape is legit. I'm going to stick with my pick of Altamirano, but like I said, I don't like it. I have a feeling Dos Santos wins this fight. Dos Santos is 10 years younger than Altamirano. He's also never been finished. Altamirano's never been knocked out, but he has been subbed once. This is an interesting one. This is a close one. I think it's closer than what it is on paper, but I don't love Altamirano. I'm definitely going to leave that one off the parlay. But picked Altamirano, sticking with it. Next up, flyweight, Ronaldo Rodriguez, Dennis Bondar. Rodriguez is a minus 120 favorite here. He's 24 years old. Man, 7 years younger than Bondar. That's significant. 16-2 record for Rodriguez. 7 knockouts, 4 submissions. He lost on Contender Series in 2020. 5-0 since. This is going to be his first fight in the UFC. He has never been finished. He's taking on Dennis Bondar out of Ukraine. Plus 100 dog. 4 knockouts. 10 submissions. That's a lot. 1 knockout loss, 1 submission loss. 0-2 so far in his UFC career. I like Ronaldo Rodriguez here. Again, don't love this one. Bondar has 2 fights in the UFC. That's, way more experience than Rodriguez does. For some reason, guys, a lot of people, their first fight in the UFC, even if they're good fighters, they lose. It's very hard to win your first UFC fight. I picked Rodriguez here, but again, it's a fight I don't love. I could kind of see it going either way. But I'm going to stick with my pick of Rodriguez. Going to leave that one off the parlay. This next fight is on the parlay, though. Claudio Puelles, Fares Ziam. Puelles is 27 out of Peru. 12-3 record. Plus 170 dog here. 2 knockouts, 7 submissions. Has been knocked out twice. Last fight he got TKO'd by Dan Hooker. 5-2 record in the UFC so far. Love Puelles. Not sure why he's a plus 170 dog, but I'll go with it. He's taking on Fares Ziam. Ziam is a minus 200 favorite. 26 years old out of France. 14-4 record. 5 knockouts, 4 submissions, has been subbed 3 times, 4-2 record in the UFC. He's currently on a 2-fight winning streak. I really like what Puelles has done recently. I'm going with Puelles in this fight. I put this on the parlay, but this is one I've thought about taking off because it's a close one. I don't love this one. Ziam gets wins. He beats guys that you wouldn't think he would beat. So, yeah, I think we're going to take this one off the parlay. Let's remove that one because this is a pretty big parlay now that we're adding the PFL stuff. But the rest of these I like a lot. That's the one that I was kind of on the fence about. I feel like now if I'm on the fence about it, boom, just take it off. Okay. I like Puelles a lot, though. He's a plus 170 dog. He's on my list of dogs that I think will win. Moving right along. Edgar Chairez, Daniel Lacerda at flyweight. Chirez is a minus 500 favorite here. He's 10-5 in the UFC. 28 years old, out of Mexico. 4 knockouts, 6 submissions. Been subbed twice. Lost a decision on Contender Series back in 2022. Lacerda, his opponent, plus 360 dog here. 11-5 record. 27 out of Brazil. 5 knockouts, 6 submissions, 4 knockout losses, subbed once. Has lost all 4 of his UFC fights. 3 knockout losses, 1 submission loss. And also, these two fought before, and they called it an early stoppage. I thought it was a completely good stoppage, personally. Personally, I thought Edgar Chirez got the win, and because of that, I'm going with Chirez again. I think he gets it done here. He's a minus 500 dog. He's going on the parlay. 28 out of Mexico. I like this fight. There's a lot of flyweight fights on this UFC card, and I think they're all like badass fights. Okay. Another flyweight fight next. Jesus Aguilar, Mateus Mendonca. I got Aguilar in this one. He's a plus 105 dog. 9-2 record. 27 years old, out of Mexico. 1 knockout, 6 submissions, 2 submission losses. Contender Series submission win. 1-1 in the UFC so far. Mendonca, minus 125 favorite here. 25 years old, out of Brazil. 10-2 record. 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. Has been knocked out once. Contender Series knockout win in 2022. He's 0-2 so far in his UFC career. I like Aguilar here. He's got a UFC win. I'm not sure why he's a dog. He's got 6 submissions, which I like a lot. Mendonca has been knocked out. Aguilar's not really a knockout artist, though. This is definitely like a toss-up fight. I picked Aguilar, but I wouldn't say I don't not like him as a pick, but I'm not putting him on the parlay either. I don't love it. There's a lot of Mexico versus Brazil fights on this card, and this is one of those. I picked a lot of the Mexican fighters of that matchup. And I feel like it's going to go pretty even. I feel like some of the ones I picked will probably lose. But you never know. It's whenever I don't feel good about it is when all my people win. Just to let you guys know. All right. So Aguilar, Mendonca. I got Aguilar in that one at plus 105. We are moving on to the backside of the piece of paper. Next up at bantamweight. Christian Quinones, Raoni Barcelos. Quinones, 18-4 record. 27 years old, out of Mexico. Plus 150 dog in this one. 10 knockouts, 3 submissions. Has been knocked out twice. Has been knocked out and submitted twice each. Contender Series win back in 2021. 1-1 in the UFC so far. He's taken on UFC veteran Raoni Barcelos. 6-4 in his UFC career. 8 knockouts, 2 submissions, 1 knockout loss, submitted once. He's lost 4 of his last 5, but they were to high-level people, guys. 36 years old, minus 180 favorite here. Raoni Barcelos is going on my parlay. Quinones is decent, but man, this is a tough fight for him. I like Raoni Barcelos to get it done. We got a lightweight fight next. Manuel Torres, Chris Duncan. Torres, 14-2, minus 190 favorite here. 28 years old, out of Mexico. 7 knockouts, 6 submissions. Has been submitted twice. Contender Series 2021 knockout win. Both of his UFC fights have been first round knockout wins so far. I like Manuel Torres a lot in this fight. He's going to be on my parlay. He's taking on Chris Duncan, 11-1, plus 160 dog. 30 years old, out of Scotland. 7 knockouts, 1 submission. Has been knocked out once. Fighting out of American Top Team. Contender Series 2021 knockout loss. Then he got a knockout win in 2022 on Contender Series. And he's 2-0 in the UFC so far. Great fight. Both guys are really good. I like Manuel Torres a lot in this fight, but it's not an easy fight for him. Both guys have 7 knockouts. Torres, though, I like that 7 knockouts and 6 submissions. That's huge. He has been submitted twice, but he's never been knocked out. Chris Duncan has been knocked out once. I like Torres in this one. I'm putting him on the parlay. That's going to be a good one. Next up, women's strawweight division. Yasmin Uruguay, Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes is a big dog in this one, and I like her, guys. Yasmin is a minus 600 favorite here. She's 24 out of Mexico, 10-1 so far in her career, 7 knockouts, has been knocked out once, 2-1 in the UFC. She's coming off the first loss of her career, which was a knockout to Denise Gomes. She's taking on Sam Hughes out of Iowa, 31 years old, 8-5. Like I said, plus 425 dog here. That's massive. Biggest dog on the card. I think, yeah, biggest dog on the card. 3-4 in the UFC so far. 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. Knocked out once, submitted once. Fortis MMA. I like Sam Hughes in this one. It's a close fight. I gotta look at the reach. Yasmin might have a massive reach advantage, but Sam Hughes is she's a dog. She fights hard. I don't love that Yasmin has 7 knockouts. That's crazy. But she is coming off a knockout loss. And you just don't know how someone's going to be after that. You're only as good as your last fight. Sam Hughes is pretty solid. I think she's a dog. I think she wins kind of ugly fights. I think this could turn into that. She's a huge underdog in this fight, so I wouldn't recommend betting on her. But if you think she has it, I could put, I could see putting $10 on it or something like that. Next up, this is a good one, guys. Bantamweight fight. 2 up-and-comers that I think have a lot of potential. Raul Rosas Jr., Ricky Tercios. This one's interesting. Rosas Jr. is 8-1, 19 years old, minus 235 favorite here. That's big. He's a big favorite. 2 knockouts, 5 submissions, never been finished. Contender Series 2022 win, 2-1 in the UFC since then. Taking on Ricky Tercios. Tercios won the Ultimate Fighter back in 2021. 2-1 in the UFC so far. Lost on Contender Series way back in 2017. 3 knockouts, 1 submission, 1 knockout loss. Fighting out a Team Alpha Male, which is Uriah Faber's team. 12-3, plus 190 dog here. I really like Tercios in this one. Tercios, however you fucking pronounce it. He's a dog. Rosas Jr., he's good, but I just don't think he's great. He's 19 years old. He's young. He's really green. I just think he has a lot of room to grow and a lot of room to get better. Tercios, I just think, looks like a badass fighter right now. Like right now, I think he's like pretty damn good. Interesting fight. I think Tercios gets it done. Next up, guys, getting to the end of this one. Lightweight fight. Daniel Zellhuber, Francisco Prado. Zellhuber, minus 275 favorite. 14-1 record, 24 years old. There's a lot of young fighters on this card. Very, very exciting to have so many young fighters. 7 knockouts, 3 submissions, never been finished, Zellhuber. Contender Series 2021 win, 2-1 in the UFC. Taking on Francisco Prado. Prado is plus 225 dog here, guys. 21 years old out of Argentina. 6 knockouts, 6 submissions, never been finished. 1-1 in the UFC so far. Lost a decision to Malarkey. This is a good fight. I really like this one. I think it's fairly evenly matched. I got Zellhuber, but man, I really like the 6 subs from Prado. Neither guy has been finished ever. Both guys have a win in the UFC. Zellhuber has 2. Prado has 1. But they've both got, some fights under their belt now in the UFC because it's different fighting on the highest level. Man, this is quite. I think this could be a fucking war. I think we could see a fucking badass fight in this one. I love it. I got Zellhuber, but like I said, tough one. Not going to be on the parlay. I like both. I think both guys are beasts. Hell yeah, that's going to be nasty. And then now the fights only get nastier from here. Next up, featherweight co-main event. Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega. Holy shit. This fight is fucking awesome. Okay. Yair Rodriguez, 31 out of Mexico, fighting at home, minus 155 favorite, 19-4 record, 8 knockouts, 5 submissions, 3 knockout losses, 10-3 in the UFC, coming off a knockout loss to Volkanovski. Man, Rodriguez is a monster. Ridiculously good striker. He has high volume, which I fucking love. Just nasty. Nasty everywhere. 8 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's very well rounded. Nasty striker. Yair Rodriguez is a beast. He's taking on another beast. 33 years old out of Cali. Plus 130 dog in this one. Brian T-City Ortega. 15-3 in the record. 3 knockouts, 7 submissions. Knocked out twice. He's 7-3 in the UFC. So Ortega's been knocked out twice. Yair has been knocked out 3 times. I think that's an interesting thing in this one. I think we're definitely going to see a finish here in this fight. But you never know. Ortega's lost 3 of his last 4. Now, these guys have some losses, but they've been to the highest level guys out there. Ortega's last fight counts as a knockout loss to Rodriguez, but it was a shoulder injury that ended the fight. That fight was going pretty good for Yair when it ended, but man, I like Ortega in those long fights. He's got a hell of a gas tank, and he's just high volume. And Yair is too. I could see this being a fucking war. I think this is going to be a great fight. I got Ortega. Not going to be on the parlay. I don't love this one. I think this is kind of a toss-up. It's just a very close one. Like I said, war. It's going to. I don't know. There might be a knockout. It might go the distance. I kind of think there's going to be a finish, but you never know against guys like this. So high level. Man, hell of a fight going with Ortega. Main event of the evening. 5 rounds. Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval. Let's break it down. Brandon Moreno, former flyweight champ, 21-7, minus 300 favorite here. Fighting out of Mexico, out at home, 30 years old, 5 knockouts, 11 submissions. Moreno has never been finished. 10-4 in the UFC with 2 draws on top of that. Coming off a split decision loss to Pantoja, who is the current champ. I really like this fight for Moreno. He's already beaten Royval. Royval's good, but I just don't think he's on the same tier as Pantoja, Moreno, or Figueiredo. But he's good. 31 out of Colorado, plus 245 dog, 15-7, 4 knockouts, 9 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's been submitted once. 5-3 in the UFC. He's coming off a decision loss to Pantoja. I'm going with Brandon Moreno in this one. I think he's just a fucking beast. I think he's gonna get a title fight again soon. I would love to see a trilogy with him and Pantoja. Great night of fights, guys. I'm gonna be streaming from 3 o'clock until the UFC fight's over. Maybe after that, we'll see how it goes. I'm hyped. I can't wait for these fights. It's going to be a hell of a night. Let me go through my underdogs real quick, guys. For the UFC, my underdogs are Victor Altamirano, plus 255. Claudio Puelles, plus 170. Jesus Aguilar, plus 105. Sam Hughes, plus 425. Ricky Tercios, This one I like a lot, plus 190. And Brian Ortega, another one I like a lot, plus 130. That's a lot of dogs. They are not all gonna win. Hopefully, hopefully a couple of them win. All right, and let's go through this parlay, guys. This is a big parlay. I took a couple names off, but I think it's still a big one. Edgar Chairez, Rayoni Barcelos, Manuel Torres, Brandon Moreno. That's the UFC card, all right? And then for the PFL versus Bellator, I got AJ McKee Jr., Vadim Nemkov, and Johnny Eblen. I am fucking hyped, guys. Who's ready for some badass fights? What's a parlay? A parlay is basically I'm picking multiple fighters to win. Basically, instead of just saying I want this guy to win, it's I want this guy to win, I want that guy to win, I want that other guy to win. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7-leg parlay. So basically what that means is the odds are going to be boosted. So before I may have made okay. Let's break this down. So if someone is plus 100, that means if I bet $100, right, I'm going to win $100 back. So that means I'll now have $200. So you get your money back plus another 100, okay? That's how plus money works. So if someone's plus 425, I bet $100, I win $425 plus the money that I put in. That's how plus money works. So when you add, so I'm putting together people who are favorites, who are minus money. Minus money means they're minus 100. That means to win $100, I have to bet 100. So if they're minus 425, I have to bet 425 to win 100. That's how that works. So what I'm doing basically is putting together people who are minus money, who are favorites, and because of that, I'm going to get like plus. I'm going to get a big plus boost from that. That's what parlay means. I hope I explained that well, Nugbone. These cards are stacked, guys. Saturday is going to be lit. My stream will start at 3 p.m. Saturday afternoon. I can't wait for this card, guys. It's going to be fun. Twitch.tv/DeathSlayer1964. Going to be reacting to the entire thing. Come chat, come hang out. I'm going to be playing some badass game. I haven't figured out yet. What? I think I'm going to play Battlefront 2. I think I'm going to play Battlefront 2, guys. Not positive, but I'm thinking about it. Peace and love, everybody. We're going to raid Oilers guy right now. Oilers guy 97. He's playing Batman Arkham Knight. He's a beast. He's playing one of my favorite games. Thank you guys for watching. I will be streaming later tonight. Haven't decided what yet, but something really fun. Something solo player, probably. Peace and love, everybody. See you tonight.